everybody, round 5 is up next. So just to clarify a little bit, again, this is 5 rounds of Swiss only, when generally it has been, 8 or 9, depending on how many entrants. And the reason for that is we want the entire tournament to essentially be single elimination. The way the Riot tournament was structured, there was 1,024 participants that are going to be invited. And eventually, after 5 rounds of Swiss, they cut to a top 32. So that is basically, if you do the math, they're all going to be 5-0 at that point, depending on if anybody drops, yada, yada, yada. Obviously, there might be some problems. But essentially, we wanted to mimic the same format. Also, the deck lists are card locked, so it's a little bit different than what we're used to with region lock. So you are going to see some people able to play Noxus in 2 decks, for example, or a lot of other wacky things that we've seen today. A lot of cool deck building, to be honest with you. So, my name is Justin, also known as Shit Just Works, and today we are doing round 5 of day 1 of Duels of Runeterra. There are actually 2 tournaments, so lucky you guys. You're getting 2 finals and 2 semifinals for this week of Duels of Runeterra, which is pretty sick. So strap yourselves in. Round 5, we got Gavone versus Deriva. Do you really... All right, when you say good luck to your opponent, do you really mean it?
I don't say good luck to my opponent.
Because, I feel like there should be a better way of phrasing that, because it's not that I wish harm upon my opponent or, negativity upon my opponent. I just wish that I have better top decks than my opponent.
I would like this to be easier on me, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I had a reputation in person of, being this stony, silent type, where, I didn't banter, I didn't wish you luck, because, I don't want you to get lucky.
So that's what I'm saying. Because it's a card game, I feel like good luck is not you don't want them to have better luck than you. If anything, you want it to be equal luck so that skill shines.
Yeah,
right?
so that I can dumpster you and then brag about it.
Oh, see, Blevins has got it right. He just responds with thank you, just a polite thank you.
Blevins is the secret heel, and his heel is coming out more and more, and I'm liking heel Blevin.
It's so funny. Well, because by saying thank you, they're giving you all the luck, because they're saying good luck to you. All right, thank you. I'll take all that good luck. Thank you for the good luck.
Sucker, this is my luck now.
So we are about to start. We're going to go ahead and get over to Deriva versus the Chad in Duels of Runeterra 17, round 5, game number 1. I will say, in looking through the decks that he had on the screen, it looked like he had a ramp soloist deck somewhere in there. Oh, wait, never mind. Was that a Brilliant Soul? This is Ramp Soul. That's the third one.
Guarja, you were right. I don't know if you're still in chat, but you were right. Why is he playing Icequake in every deck? And then Deriva, we were right. It's Scouts. I don't know if it's 3 Scout decks, but we are going to start off with, I believe this was Misfortune Quinn. So a pretty standard Scout deck.
Wow, so nailed the Scouts, and Guarja earlier nailing the Ramp Soul. So very curious to see if this Ramp Soul is able to get the job done here versus Scouts. I feel like generally this is a pretty bad matchup for Ramp Soul. Just Scouts able to go very, very aggressive. And, I mean, this Icequake might be able to do some damage here if there's no, Bannerman that buffs everything to 4, which would be very, very unfortunate. The good thing about Icequake with it dealing 3 damage, though, is that that is a big difference from Avalanche, and a lot of those 2-drop, 2-health units will not actually be protected by something like a Bannerman.
No, they will not. And now Deriva has a decision to make. Do I want to attack and let you get down the ramp, get down the Trundle on 4? And he does. I mean, you kind of have to, right? I don't think we've seen Chad not open Wording Stone in any of these games so far. This man has just found the ramp every single game that he needs it.
Yeah, I will say I think we've seen Wording Stones come out.
He is all in this one. He's playing Wording Stone and Faces of the Old One.
I like it. I mean, this is what I'm saying. Everybody is all right, we're not giving any respect to aggro. Nobody cares. Nobody gives a crap about your aggro deck. I'm going to play ramp and play all the 8 cost cards in the game, as well as Feel the Rush, and see how far that'll get me. And this is a lot of mana. Wow. Are we on 8 mana on turn 5? Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
Oh, my God.
Why is there a Ravoon in the deck? He's not playing Leona.
The random Daybreak card? I don't know.
I said, there are a lot of I will talk to this guy about lineups, but not everything that you see. Most things that you see actually are things that I tried to talk him out of. And he just said, "I know best," and I say, "Well, it is your tournament experience."
You're so quick to throw people under the bus and be like, "Nah, this wasn't my idea. This is all Chad.
That's not me."
Oh man, and yeah, here we go. We have the birds are coming in, which are going to be able to get rid of some of this ramp, but notably, I mean, we're going to be able to utilize this mana. We're going to get another wording stones out, and I think what's more important here about these wording stones is they're preventing damage. I mean, this would have been a lot of damage coming into the face of the Chad. Instead, we're only at 14 going into turn 6 here. So I do think that's pretty good. I guess the question here is, do you want to go ahead and play the other wording stones or play the Daybreak Solari Priestess? I don't see a reason not to play the wording stones because you can just open with the Priestess, right?
So he's going into 7 mana as things currently stand. And I think you are sort of approaching the point where you really want to get this Icequake down, if for no other reason than because that Misfortune's currently sitting at 3 out of 4. You need to kill that before it actually gets the level up. And it looks like he's actually going to go for the Meteor Shower, but is this a relentless pursuit? It is, and Deriva getting a turn 5 Misfortune level up, the fastest that I believe we have ever seen.
Wow. Did we see that earlier today, though?
I think there was potential for it to happen, but actually, yeah, it might have. It might have.
I mean, on the bright side for Chad, we are going to get... I mean, Icequake does clear the field, but...
It does not. That is a 4-4.
Oh, no, that's 4-4 now. Never mind. So
he does. That's why he grabbed the Meteor Shower.
Yeah,
he does actually get to clear the board here now.
Yep.
Yeah, to go ahead and pull that away. It's got Overwhelm. No chump blockers are effective against the Misfortune.
Wow. And even the Ravoon going to go ahead and die here to the Fleet Feather Tracker. I mean, things are looking bad, but I don't necessarily think Chad's out of it. It's really going to depend on what else Deriva has here to go ahead and refuel the board as far as tempo is concerned. If we open up with the Meteor Shower, the problem is, you pretty much have free reign now on the side of Deriva to just go ahead and summon more units and go in for that attack next turn. We'll see if this... Yep. That's game.
I mean, it is still in Icequake range if he is going for some kind of developmental attack next turn, but honestly, that's not sounding super likely.
Yeah, I don't think there's any world where we just don't just... Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure this one's just over. Well, we see why Deriva has not lost a game yet. Do you know why it is SJW? It's not because of scouts. It's not because of his player skill. It's because he dropped the micro for Legends of Runeterra.
That's got to be it. The rebranding.
He put it in his name.
Yeah, yep. It was the rebranding, 100%. Okay, so in this meta, in this format of everybody opting to go with War Mothers and Field of Rush and these late game huge decks, I think that scouts, I mean, the reason why we have actually seen this as one of the other prevalent successful archetypes today is they fit in quite well with an ability to win on turns like this, turn 7 and 8. Aggro decks try to win even faster than that, right? They try to win by turn, 4 or 5, maybe even 6, and they run out of gas a little bit faster, to which these control decks a lot of times have heal to avoid losing to that. Well, with scouts, they're a little bit slower, but they pack a little bit more punch than something like an aggro, a straight up, burn or an aggro deck would have, which is why I think they're able to kind of carve out this nice little spot of being able to beat these control archetypes. And yeah, there's another Misfortune there. That is, lots of damage.
Now, luckily, the Misfortune did an insane amount of work in that game. And because you can't repeat champions, you don't have to worry about that in game number 2. So even if it is another Bannerman-like deck, you at least don't have that MF to worry about. And I am kind of curious. I would assume that it's not, a triple scout lineup. Otherwise, I think the Misfortune is the one that you ban there on the side of Chad. So I'm curious to see what these other decks are out of Deriva.
Yeah, and it's interesting because we are seeing this ramp ace. Oh, wow, and it's War Mothers. So this is anybody's game, really, I think.
I think the atrocities are a pretty big advantage for Deriva. There's really not a lot of removal for the Chad.
Yeah, I mean, I think the only way is if Chad's able to kind of get a really early Aurelian Soul. Like, we see a ton more ramp again in hand early. So if we're able to get an early Aurelian Soul, this Mind Splitter might be able to get some work done as well. stunning out any of the large units like a Trundle, etc. that come down. But, I mean, this is going to be a rough one. There's the Aurelian Soul, so we do already have it. It looks like we are just going to match Wording Stone for Wording Stone. I guarantee we match Trundle for Trundle here in a second.
I mean, if he wants to, rather than match Trundle for Trundle, he can go, you know, Wording into Catalyst and play a Mind Splitter on the following turn.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a pretty good point. That's a really early Mind Splitter, and that could be enough aggression to maybe get Chad an early victory. Is that really how you want to go about this? I mean, because of things like the Atrocity, are you just trying to kind of race your opponent?
I mean, going bigger than your opponent does have its merit, and skipping turns 6 and 7, you know, not bad. And now we're not even seeing Deriva go for the turn 5 Trundle, so does he also have the second ramp effect, or is... Okay, yeah, so Deriva going to go into turn 7, Chad gets into turn 8, and he's going to be able to drop that Mind Splitter. The aggressive Mind Splitter is a little bit weird here. I think Trundle into Bank the Free Spellman is a little bit more likely. You kind of want to be able to lock down either the Pillar and the Trundle or a Tryndamere or something along those lines. I think pushing the 8 damage with... Oh, Howling Abyss. Okay, so this is the deck formerly known as War Mothers.
So... yeah, and I do agree banking the Spellman up makes a little bit more sense here. And that means if we do, you know, if Deriva pulls some weird level 2 big champion then from the Howling Abyss, then we will be able to go ahead and use Mind Splitter on it going into turn 9 here. And then we'll also have, you know, Avalanche mana up. Not sure how much that'll matter, but it is an option. And Faces of the Old One's not really going to do much now, unfortunately, so it's pretty much a dead card at this point. I wonder how many he's running of that, to be honest with you.
So the one thing that I always liked about Trundle Acel is that when you load up on these excess ramp cards in the late game, you can just throw them away to the Spacey Sketcher.
Yeah, yep. Yeah.
Granted, that always feels like a weird consideration because, like, then you're just loading your deck up with more garbage in the Spacey Sketcher because if your plan is to discard your late game ramp with it, how much impact is that 3-cost or less Celestial having, you know, on turn 10?
And Vile Feast now, just to generate an additional blocker, it looks like, which I mean, it's going to overwhelm this Trundle, so I'm not really sure how much good that's going to do. We have a Dragon's Clutch in hand as well. I'm really curious to see how much work this Aurelian Soul is able to do. Like, I don't know if this is going to be a difference maker or not in this game.
Yeah, I'm actually really curious to know if Chad is going to throw down the Mind Splitter this turn just so that he actually has the Acel level up available the turn that it comes down.
Yeah, that would be, yeah, with the Trundle it actually would be close because this is going to be, 1, 2, 3, 4. 9. Oh yeah, this is plenty. So, okay. Oh, wait, is it? Wait, 8. Yeah, okay, Math's hard,
27.
guys. All right, math is hard. I kept doing double takes on how much attack would have been on the board, but yes, that is plenty. Any units dying that are not Trundle, Aurelian Soul, or Mind Splitter doesn't really do anything. And those are pretty big, beefy boys, so I don't think they're going to die anytime soon. We are going to get the harsh winds. And yeah, I got to agree, Boulevard. I think that getting the Mind Splitter down for the early leveled up Aurelian Soul might make sense.
And I don't even think it's necessarily greedy. Let's say that next turn Deriva goes for, you know, Ruination and something to pop the spell shield on your Acel. You have Dragon's Clutch. You got a decent amount of refuel there. You know that's going to get... I mean, it looks like he is running 3 dragons. We saw the Celestial Dragon the turn earlier, so he does have the Acel in deck with that as well. But we're going to see Feel the Rush.
So wow, this is huge. We just drew a second Mind Splitter. That is really big. I don't think we can take the damage from both of these, though. I mean, do you just throw the Wording Stones out as blockers and then stun them with the Mind Splitter?
Well, the Trundle doesn't have Overwhelm.
Oh, that's right. That's not leveled.
And it looks like he's actually going to go for the Acel level up anyway. Which is a little bit strange. I mean, so your opponent is running Harsh Winds. Like, you could have Mind Splittered and gone for the lethal on the open attack. But you do know that your opponent does have a couple of defenses against something like that.
All right, well, we did just get Supernova, which is huge.
Yeah, and... Okay, I was going to say, if you really want to, if you really, really want to, you can Dragon's Clutch to +1/+1 all your dragons and block the Tryndamere, but...
I mean...
because you got the Obliterate spell, you don't need to do that.
Yeah, no thank you. Yeah, Supernova, for anybody who doesn't know, if you behold a Celestial card, you obliterate 2 units. That spell is going to do work here in a second. And so I guess the problem now lies in Atrocity. Because, oh, wait, 6, 7, no, that's exact.
If you block with the Wording Stone, you're still at 14.
3, hold on. That's, I keep thinking Trundle has Overwhelm. So that would have been exactly 10. So yeah, I do like the block with the Wording Stone. I think that being at 14, you're A-okay. And you can just go ahead, Supernova, you're good to go.
Yeah, it looks like he's really agonizing over this, but is eventually going to find sort of the line that we would have gone along with. And this is about to be a really big turn for Gavone.
Yeah,
because even if the Supernova is responded to with some kind of, board wipe, actually, no, there's no board wipe on the table. Deriva cannot play Ruination and pop the Spell Shield of the Aesol.
Yeah. Yep. This is what you want to see out of Aesol.
And that would, if Ruination comes out to clear out the rest of the board, that means that Aesol, Mind Splitter, Dragon's Clutch is 20 damage.
And he can redevelop it. He just drew another Trundle. Well, actually, if he's paying... Oh, yeah, and those are 0. He can redevelop another Trundle. I think he has this.
He's got lethal if there's a Ruination, just because Mind Splitter Aesol is 20 damage with the Dragon's Clutch. But, yeah, you just fire those off. Obliterate these 2, man.
Do it.
Send them to the Shadow Realm. You're a Yu-Gi-Oh player. Put them in a coffin.
It's 0 mana. Why not? Oh, wait. What is this? Is this going to be...
Probably Atrocity.
Do we still go for Atrocity and try to kill, the Trundle or something? Or
you die if you do that.
I mean, you
have to do something. I'm pretty sure Chad just wins this turn.
I can't think of... All right, Vengeance. Vengeance does nothing. Ruination does nothing.
Your opponent just has way too much damage.
You even have another Supernova in hand. Oh, wait, actually, that one's not active because we don't have another Celestial, so there's that. But wow, this Supernova is huge. Yeah, wow, that's going to be... So I imagine this means Ruination from Deriva. Okay, Pillar first?
So I mean, we can grab that Pillar with the Wording Stone.
Yeah, so that's not going to do anything.
I think Chad wants to develop one more unit to try and push lethal through Harsh Winds, but that doesn't work no matter what because you would need your 2 smallest attackers to represent lethal, and that's just not going to happen.
This is dangerous, though, because now Ruination gets a lot more value, and although you're still attacking with the Aurelian Soul... I mean, this is definitely a Ruination bait. I don't see why this is not a Ruination bait. There has to be Ruination coming out now.
I don't think this Mind Splitter actually adds anything to the attack. It takes Flash Freeze off the table, but very specifically only Flash Freeze. And what are we going to see here out of Deriva?
It's got to be Ruination, right?
Ruination's basically the only thing that keeps him in the game.
Yeah, Ruination. So because it was because the Mind Splitter was played now, we can't actually take the game, which is unfortunate. We do get to push 11 damage. I will say I don't see a situation where Chad does not win because we are going to get another Celestial card and we still have a 0-mana Supernova in hand. And we have a Trundle even. And a Dragon's Clutch to get another Aurelian Soul if this one dies. And it's already leveled up. So I think we're good. I think we're chilling. I'm
actually a little surprised that he didn't Dragon's Clutch at the end of the turn there, just to sort of play mana efficiently.
Yeah, same here. I will say, with Howling Abyss, anything is possible.
Deriva could play his own leveled Aurelian Soul in response.
That would be wacky. That would be absolutely awesome.
It's not off the table.
Let's see the return of Aurelian Soul. Come on, Deriva. Do you have it? Come on, you got this. You have it.
There are, 47 champions in the game? Ashe? Okay, that's... So the one thing to note about Ashe is that she gets the Enchanted Crystal Arrow on level up, so you actually won't have access to that card.
But right now, Frostbite, plus no blockers, is representing a scary amount of damage to put him closer to within Atrocity range. But this Trundle obviously takes that off the board anyways. And, yeah, this... Oh, do we have maybe Harsh Winds then? And this will push 6 damage. So I think 100% Deriva has Atrocity if this is a Harsh Winds. The problem is we still need to get this Ashe up
a bit more damage.
Yeah. trying to think of what would be in there. I can't imagine Deriva playing Fury of the North and things like
Well,
that.
if he goes for Harsh Wind's attack, then Chad can actually just
Oh,
Supernova.
okay. Well, there's the Vengeance.
Yeah, and that does mean that the Ash is gonna hit.
Yeah, Vengeance. This is a great play from Deriva now. And this is scary. I mean, sure, you don't have any mana to deal additional damage, so you're technically not within atrocity range this turn or probably next turn, just because you will have to drop something like a Tryndamere or a Trundle before you can actually play the atrocity. So we still have plenty of time, it looks like, but man, that's rough for Chad. This is looking scary now.
Yeah, and I mean that's not a chump blocker there because that is a leveled Ash. You can't even block with the faces of the old one.
Yeah, that feels bad. And we also didn't have enough mana for the sisters either. So this is going to be 6 damage. Yeah, he's really trying. He's like, you know what? Maybe the game will error and I'll be able to do it. You never know. You never know. So we'll see. So I still think, especially with Aurelion Soul, Chad's in a good spot. No, and we do have the sisters for heal, so that's another notable thing. So let's see what Deriva ends up doing here. I imagine we just pass right back over. If
Probably,
do,
and then I would imagine that Chad is going to play that Aurelion Soul because, once again, your opponent doesn't have mana for Ruination and something to pop the Spell Shield.
Yeah, so this Trundle would be attacking with 10 right now, as there are 5 other cards that would pump it up. So that is only 6 damage.
I don't...
Wait, 1, 2.
Are those
Did I count
0
wrong?
cost or are those 9 cost?
Oh, that's a good point.
I haven't actually played enough Ramsol. I'm sure that somebody in chat has played like 2 games of Ramsol and knows how this works, but I unfortunately do not. So this will be a learning experience for me.
Yeah, same here. I'm very curious.
Okay, so Vengeance Vile Feast. I believe this is lethal on the side of Chad then through this Trundle.
Wait. No, no. Is it? Oh yeah, because of the vulnerable. Yeah. Yeah, okay. There it is. That's going to be game. All right, we see how it works right here?
Well, they cost 9 again because the Aesol's dead.
Oh, that's unfortunate. So, now I wonder... I'm actually curious if that was a misplay on Deriva's part, because if it works where you don't get the buff if they cost 0, that wouldn't have been lethal.
To the Aesol.
Well, yeah, but there might have been a different card he could have played. Who knows?
I mean, yeah, okay, so technically, if they don't count for the buff on the Trundle, then you kill the Aesol in combat after the Trundle has gotten his minimalistic buff.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that's really weird.
What a wild thing to play around though.
That's like I don't.
That's like
no.
What's bigger than a galaxy?
So what I find interesting though is Deriva banned out the big old Swain Sejuani deck. The ridiculously high-costed, high-curve deck is banned. And that's like my favorite deck to see play right now.
It's not open deck list. You only get to see your opponent's champions and regional combinations. So you know that it's Swain Sejuani.
Yeah, that's it's interesting. So I mean, I feel like you figure if you see Swain Sejuani and Noxus Freljord, you think that it's a little bit more similar to like the old Sejuani Swain decks, which is more low curve aggressive. It's actually the exact opposite.
All right, so the first time this tournament, as far as we can tell, Chad doesn't have his mana rock on 3 and isn't going to magically find it off the top, but Deriva doesn't have one either. Okay, so we're playing a fair game here.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Both of these players.
No cheating in this game.
And does Deriva really not have a 5-drop either?
That would be crazy.
I mean, Gavone's hand looked bad, but Deriva's been passing just right back. Okay, has something. Please don't Vengeance this. I know you probably have to.
That's a really bad hand if it gets
Deriva,
Vengeance.
But it might be Vile Feast. Vile Feast is reasonable. That's not what I thought.
Wow. That is also not Nightfall activated. No way.
So, no, I don't.
No way. That's not what?
So, hand space is not quite a consideration this turn.
Why?
But maybe it is if you're looking to pass Ruination. I would imagine that was a hand space play.
Just knowing that you're gonna
if you want to represent Ruination, but you might not find a good opportunity to Ruination,
Wait, he wouldn't have had... No, he would have had 10 cards in hand after he drew. He would have been fine.
Well, not if you don't find a good opportunity to Ruination, but you still want to hold on to it.
Oh, gotcha.
And like represent it for the turn.
Yeah, okay. So that was just mana management at its finest there from Deriva.
I think. All right, so we finally see a unit.
Having to play the Tryndamere definitely feels much worse than getting War Mothers.
I mean, we can just block Vengeance. The question is, I think you actually... it doesn't matter. Neither of these get through Troll Chant.
Yeah. I mean, Troll Chant, and that's why Troll Chant's so good. 2 mana, 4 difference right there. Like, the 6/6 goes down to a 4/4, but the Tryndamere goes up to a 6. Okay, wow. So must not have Troll Chant if that's the case?
Maybe. I mean, now War Mothers is online for Deriva, though. He does get that a turn early, but this is Feel the Rush, and yeah, Chad recognizing that he doesn't have a good answer for it, and I think the Feel the Rush is super telegraphed here, and that's why Deriva didn't let the Tryndamere level. You want to pull an unleveled Tryndamere.
Yeah. Wow. This is interesting. Yeah, unfortunately, Chad's still not able to play this War Mothers. This is looking like it's heading in the direction of Deriva having the advantage here, but I mean, everything will be slightly bigger already having the Hearth cards pulled before everything else on the side of Chad. I mean, we do see 1 Tryndamere in hand, but still. This is interesting. This would push damage and possibly force out some sort of removal like Vengeance if it goes unanswered, which is a big deal because getting him down to something like 13 health, which it looks like might happen here, means that that's less overwhelmed damage that Chad's going to have to do with Tryndamere or Trundle if we do get these summoned. There's actually 2 Tryndameres in Chad's hand. That feels bad.
Yeah, but so if this Tryndamere does level here and then Deriva plays Feel the Rush, Chad can Vengeance one of the units this turn and then Vengeance it again next turn. He doesn't have Ruination, but he's got budget 14 mana Ruination. That's not what I expected. I didn't think we were fighting for board quite like that, but he is going to Flash Freeze the Tryndamere, preserve the life on the Hearth guard, still level his opponent's Tryndamere.
Yeah, that seems a little odd to me. I feel like you could get much better value and much better trades for that Flash Freeze later on in the game, especially if something like Atrocity comes out. That is a life-saving Flash Freeze at that point. Unless, I mean, if he is fighting for board, maybe he's thinking, I am going to try to play War Mothers next turn and just try to win it based on that. Like over the next couple of turns. But yeah, we see the Harsh Winds come out, and now no damage going to come on to Deriva whatsoever.
All right. Really curious how this is about to play out. Man, it's so rough because you really don't want to give your opponent a 10-10 unleveled Tryndamere. Yeah. But Vengeancing this Tryndamere right here is wild. It's straight up wild. And again, importantly, the Trundle will not have Overwhelm. It's going to be a pre-leveled Trundle.
What is this? This
Reckoning.
Might as well be at this point, right? Okay.
It's a Vile Feast right there.
That's so random. Well, that is 1 less blocker for Chad, I guess. Are we going to return?
Is this what we're doing?
I guess this is the War of the Vile Feasts happening right now, because why the hell not? That's interesting. So, really valuing that blocker, I guess, on the side of Chad. Let's see if we get a... Okay, here's the Feel the Rush. So we do have 1 Vengeance. And I imagine... Oh, no, they are both 10-10, so the blockers won't really be able to do much here as far as removing the units. So what you were talking about earlier with the budget Ruination for 14 mana is looking like that's exactly what's going to happen. Looks like we're risking it with the with the War Mothers here.
So you would have... The Vengeance doesn't work here anymore because the Vengeance would come out before combat, and that means that the... so you line up a blocker onto this first Tryndamere, you Vengeance the 10-10. That levels the Tryndamere, and all of a sudden that 8-3 that you were trying to block is now a 9-9. The other one's going to be an 11-11 or an 11-15 or whatever it is. And basically, you needed the Feel the Rush to come out on an off turn for your opponent.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. So still going to take a lot of damage here.
You're going to be outside of the range of Atrocity, though.
Yeah, which is crucial. And it looks like, lining, just swapping them a little bit. So we'll take a little bit less damage. Yeah, so this is, I think it's good though. I mean, this Anivia was actually pretty clutch because this Anivia will just go ahead and respawn after the egg comes out. I do gonna go back to that flash freeze though. I really think flash freeze would have been pretty useful right about now.
Not only that, but your opponent's Tryndamere. I mean, the harsh winds probably wouldn't have come out of your opponent, and we know that it wouldn't have because they had already assigned the blockers and pressed OK. If you didn't do anything, combat would have just gone through, and you would have leveled the Tryndamere. And that would mean that Vengeance is something that you have online this turn. Now he picks up another Flash Freeze, though. Has a couple of Niveas going in. So, with this Trundle not leveled yet, the Trundle is going to level here, obviously, when the pillar comes down, and that's where the real trouble starts for Chad. But these Vengeances do start to get fired off. You can start to clean up some of these units.
Huh. This is interesting. We have a Rekindler as well, which... I don't... it just feels so bad to have two Tryndamere in it. I gotta go back to this. Because we have literally no chance of getting this Tryndamere out. And right now, Tryndamere would be the only option to actually block and kill these units, which means I think we do have to proactively Vengeance here. If Deriva has another 8-cost unit, I mean, I'm pretty sure that's just game if he just summons it.
I liked Vengeancing the Trundle more, because this Trundle's about to be an 11/11 with Overwhelm as well, but one that gains attack. It's actually more threatening than the Tryndamere. And if you proactively Vengeance the Trundle like this, then all of a sudden Deriva has to sort of stumble on his Tryndamere level up capabilities. If that makes sense. Like, you can't level a Trundle this turn because you can't play it and Pillar in the same turn in the proper order. So I do think that Trundle was just the better target for a Vengeance right there.
Yeah, I got to agree. I mean, there's really no reason to allow the Trundle to level up. I mean, you're still out of Atrocity range, so I don't think it's incredibly... I don't think it matters too much, but...
You're not out of Atrocity range once Trundle declares an attack.
No, yeah, that I understand.
Yeah, but that wouldn't have been the case.
Oh, wait, actually, yeah, sorry. So the open attack, the open attack would have added to the attack anyways. So we have to kind of pray there's no open attack then from this Trundle if there is an Atrocity. Oh, we have a Flash Freeze in hand.
We have a Flash Freeze in hand, and we are sort of threatened by the amount of Overwhelm coming through our opponent anyway.
We're fine. We have a Flash Freeze. It's okay. What are you talking about? Jesus. Well, Anivia, for the time being, doing what it does best and dies.
Oh, man. Avalanche here would be not great for Chad. He really needs to hang on to both of these Anivias.
Yeah, mainly just for the blockers. They do provide pretty...
Commander Ladros. Now, Atrocity is a very scary, very real possibility, and this means that our Spider is not an effective blocker against anything, and things are really not looking good for Chad here. Oh, and the kill onto the Anivia, I'm pretty sure this is just going to be lethal on the following turn.
No.
There is a War Mother's unit coming out.
Yeah, plus, even if we block, like the Tryndamere with the Anivia, we Flash Freeze something, we Vengeance something. The Flash Freeze would have to be in response to an Atrocity, though. Depends on the order in which Deriva actually plays the Atrocity. And we do get the 7/7 Averrosion Hearthguard, which does... Actually, maybe unfortunately kills the... All right, no. So you want to line up the block with the Averrosion Hearthguard onto the Tryndamere, and then...
And then Flash Freeze the Trundle, yeah.
Do you Vengeance the Trundle and then pull the Atrocity out and then Flash Freeze it, or...
That's not the most unreasonable play. The most unreasonable play I've ever heard of in my life. Flash... Okay.
That's the thing.
Don't know what that was.
Yeah, actually, that's bad, because you can still block the Tryndamere.
Did Deriva forget he's not playing an Ash deck? Like, I know he had one on field last game.
Okay. Nope. Okay. Yep. There you go.
That's fine too.
All right, I guess, either one works, right? So,
whatever you want to do. You got 2 7 health blockers.
Wait, no. Nope. He has to. That's the only fearsome blocker, though. He has to. Wait, what? What do you...
That's not. Yeah, no, that one doesn't work. Put that back.
Why are we doing
that? You got to kill the Overwhelm unit.
Why are we... Okay, wait. He's giving me... He is... All right, listen.
I am confident he can figure this out. It's like we're in a 2nd grade class and like trying to teach him something, and the kid's just like going at it a million miles an hour. It's like, no. There's a way to do this.
Not that one.
You only have 15 seconds though. The timer has started.
Anivia.
You have to figure out that Anivia has to block Ladros.
Wait.
Do
Okay.
not
Wait.
proactively
We're halfway
flash.
there. We're halfway there.
Oh,
No.
we went the
No.
wrong
No.
way.
What are we
We
doing?
went the wrong way.
What are we doing?
We went the wrong way.
Why
we took
would
a left
we
turn in
do
Albuquerque,
that?
and all of a sudden we
Oh
found
my
ourselves in
God.
hell.
Why?
It
Why
wasn't
was
worth
that just
though.
done? This is terrible. This is game over. Deriva has atrocity. There's no way. There's no way.
He's hesitant. He says, "What if there's a flash freeze number 2, and this is the 10-headed bait?"
The bait of the century of the flash freeze. Deriva's like, there's no way my opponent played flash freeze and doesn't have another one.
You would just throw out the atrocity though, because you're never getting through that flash freeze anyway. Sure, you can try and wait around for the next attack turn, but with your opponent having a War Mother's going and playing atrocities of their own, it is very risky.
I don't understand why in the world. Oh, man. Oh, man.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, there it is. So, all right. I think technically Chad didn't have a choice there, though. Because both. So the Tryndamere is also fearsome on top of the Ladros.
I always forget he's fearsome.
I just realized that. So I'm thinking to myself, because whenever I see Tryndamere, I'm like, wait a second.
Why
Tryndamere is just this big overwhelm unit, but he gets fearsome when he levels up. So
I always forget about that one.
Yeah.
Never gonna. That's like the one thing I'm just never gonna remember.
No, Colby, I beat you to it. I don't care what chat says. We caught it before chat caught it. Keck W. Nuh-uh, you guys don't get credit for that one. We caught it. If you guys caught it before I mentioned it, I would give you credit for it. But we caught that one. So. All right, so unfortunately for Gavone, we were able to follow him through rounds 4 and 5. Not going to be able to go ahead and go undefeated there, which means that Deriva will be advancing to the top cut, the top 4. And unfortunately, Gavone just barely going to miss that. So stay tuned, though. We get semifinals and the finals coming up of just day 1. Again, just day 1. There will be a day 2 that also has 5 rounds of Swiss, followed by a top cut. So lots of awesome action. And trust me, the finals, day 2 did not disappoint. Day 2 had some spicy decks. So definitely stay tuned for all of the semifinals and finals that are about to come through this week. And as always, everybody, stay healthy, stay positive. I hope shit just works for you. Peace out.